transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
But this probably is one of the most disrespectful videos that I've seen in a while. Is that I feel like the most disrespect that we get as Black Americans, it don't even come from white Americans. It comes from a lot of you immigrants who come over here. When white foreigners come over here to America, they don't sit here and try to disrespect white Americans or try to downplay their struggles or downplay the things that they fought for. They don't do that shit. They fucking play nice. It's crazy how y'all gotta steal from us and y'all gotta steal our culture and our identity.
Grand Rising and Happy New Year to my family. I saw this video from Sister Lisa and I wanted to jump on because it was talking about all of these immigrants going to Selma because it's time for them to fight for their rights. They said now it is time for them to fight for their rights because their rights are now coming into question. Now, you guys are all doing it backwards, and it all goes with everybody in Psalms 83. You stole the benefits, and now that you've enjoyed the benefits since 1965 and even before that, now all of a sudden 61 years later you want to act like it's time for you to fight for the rights that you've already received the benefits from.
Wait, you mean Somali people has gotten to this level, the audacity that they are going to protest on Selma city? Like they want to compare the pain or what they are going through as migrant to what the Black Americans went through. To even respect what these Black people or this Black community has already done. Because Selma is a symbolic, sacred ground for the Black Americans who died there and who fought so hard that they might get the rights to go and vote. Now you cannot compare the same struggle that you are going through because there are some rights, the rights that you are claiming that you are denied, they are not there. What is happening? Is this ground supposed to be protected, or is it a ground whereby everyone will ride on it or ride on what the Black American or in United States of America fought for or sacrificed for? Is it a ground where it's supposed to be respected, their legacy and their sacrifices and whatever they fought for them to be where they are? Guys, we've got so many questions, and we got the videos that we have played in these channels. We owe the credit to the creators of these videos, and they're there for us to run. Just take a look, and we come back with more commentary.
But the movement transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! 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 Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Somebody! 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 Somebody!
Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
I never thought in a million years that I would ever see Somalians, Mexicans, Nigerians, and all these immigrant groups come together and march together. I never thought I'd see this shit. Watching that video had me dying laughing. I swear, dude. And especially these people marching in Selma. Now, all these groups of people I name are anti-black. They don't like black people. But it's mighty funny that now they marching and singing old nigga spirituals. You know how crazy they look, y'all, to see a Somalian singing old nigga spirituals, bro? You know how crazy it is to see a Mexican sing old nigga spirituals in Spanish? You know how crazy it is to see immigrants marching and then using Jesse Jackson as their banner. They marching with Jesse Jackson on the front. Y'all are pathetic. Y'all have the most anti-black hatred next to the white man, and all of a sudden y'all want to link up with y'all want to ride the wave of black American history during the civil rights movement. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive during the civil rights movement. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive Selma. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive none of that. Getting dogs chased. Well, y'all, you know what? Some of you Africans might be used to getting attacked, but still, it'll hurt y'all feelings when the white boy do it to you. When the white boy do it to you, it's gonna hurt y'all feelings. It's gonna hurt y'all feelings. It's gonna hurt worse than anything. But boy, Africans, Nigerians, Mexicans, and all you immigrant groups that was marching, that was pathetic, sad, and I was happy to see there wasn't that many of y'all out there. It'll probably be about 75 of y'all out there. I'm just being nice. And to you black American Democrat supporters that was out there, shame on you. Shame on you. I hope your ancestors haunt you for the rest of your life. I hope your ancestors come from the toilet and scare the shit out you and make you have a heart attack. I ain't lying. Y'all them black Democrat supporters are pathetic. And I'm done.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I wanted to talk about what just happened in Selma, because that wasn't okay. Somali protesters were there marching, using that space to represent their own issues under civil rights symbolism. First off, Selma is not just a backdrop. What happened in Selma on March 7th, 1965 was also known as Bloody Sunday. And that wasn't just a march. 600 civil rights demonstrators were there marching for voting rights. But they were attacked by Alabama state troopers and sheriff's deputies at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They were marching to protest discrimination in voting registration. Police dogs were unleashed. Officers on horseback trampled the crowd in an effort to push them back. And when they kneeled to pray, they were met with tear gas and violence. People were brutally beaten. And that was broadcast nationally, shocking the country and bringing global awareness to our civil rights struggles. It also forced the federal government to intervene. That moment became a rallying cry for our civil rights movement and directly influenced the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It was a turning point that led to real civil rights protections for my lineage. Others still benefit from those protections today. Selma is sacred ground, tied to what my lineage endured. It's a symbol of resilience and a catalyst to black voting rights in this country. Those grounds represent what was secured through the blood and sacrifice of peaceful protesters and freedom fighters for this country. So when people step into it and treat it like it's interchangeable, that's a big problem. That's not solidarity. That's a mockery, and it's disrespectful. Not everything is a template to be borrowed. Respect the history. Respect who it belongs to. And be honest, not offended.
Y'all, they're trying to erase the legacy of Bloody Sunday. You know how black Americans marched from Montgomery to Selma for voter rights peacefully, only to be met by a violent mob of state troopers with tear gas and clubs? You know that legacy that's already solidified? They said they're moving that forward in the name of immigrant rights.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now.
That's right.
This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights.
Yes.
This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Oh,
see it, but I'm puking in my soul because out of all groups, you telling me Somalis decide to tether on to Black American legacy? These people that call Black Americans Jareers, all the years that Ilhan Omar been in office, she never addressed her Somali community as Black nor African because they're Somali, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't tether on to a legacy that's already been solidified. You cannot carry this legacy forward because this was for the voter rights of Black Americans. It wasn't for immigrant rights. Find another movement, right? I got a lot of respect for the free watermelon people because they're original. They found their own movement and carried out their own legacy. Why don't you find some of that? You know what I'm saying? Some originality. But yeah, this is disrespectful to me. This is despicable and quite disgusting. Find your own movements. Stop tethering on to Black American struggle because the Black American struggle does not run parallel to the immigrant struggle in this country. Again, Somalis.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. You know, I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third. You know, subhanallah, it's one of the African American.
Man, these Democrats are going out of their way to erase our history and push this all-inclusive society, this Black and brown coalition, this immigrant coalition, where these people go out of their way to show us every day that they're not with us. So now you have Jesse Jackson's, one of his other sons, I forgot his son's name, but he was down there in Selma, and he took these people to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, right? To the Edmund Pettus Bridge, to march, the Somalis. Now, mind you, the Somalis always say that they're not black. They always got disparaging things to say about black people in the black community, right? They come here, they say, well, we've been here for 400 years and we didn't do anything, right? They don't find the time to study our history, to know our history. And they always say that they're not black. But now all of a sudden that Trump is on their bumper, now all of a sudden they're black. Now we know on March 7, 1965, on Edmund Pettus Bridge, there was a march because there was a brother that was unalived down there on the voting polls, and we was fighting to have our voting rights, to get the Voting Rights Act put in place. But we know nearly 600 people went over that bridge, and when they did, the police down there, state troopers attacked them. Right, and it got real crazy. And that's part of our history that formulated. That was part of the civil rights movement. Now, when Jimmy Lee Jackson was killed, they started to do this protest, man. This thing is real crazy, man. But look, so now they're down there and they're protesting now on Selma. Yes, I'm gonna say it again. They're down there now protesting on Selma, saying that we should overcome, and now they want to latch on and link to our civil rights movement. Like, you can't make this up. Look at this.
But the movement is transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step.
This is the most disrespectful thing I've seen so far in 2026. Let me read to y'all what it said on the sign, the big black sign with the white letters. It says, "We the people" means all people. And it says at the bottom, Immigrant Defense Network. This is All Lives Mattering Us. And it's done at the hands of people of color and deeply melanated immigrants. The Somali community has assembled immigrants Latinos, I've seen a few European immigrants up in there, and immigrants from all over the world to hijack the civil rights movement. If this is not utterly disrespectful, disgraceful, and dangerous to you as a Black American, then you need to wake the fuck up. This all-inclusive kumbaya, this is out the door. These people are here to replace you. They are here to replace you. Now, no one is saying that they can't stand up for themselves, but what do you mean fight for our rights and you're doing it under the guise of civil rights? Being an illegal immigrant is not adjacent, nor is it synonymous with your civil rights or your civil liberties being infringed upon. You do not have any rights in the country if you are not a United States citizen. It is a crime, hence the term illegal. Then at the bottom, it says Immigrant Defense Network. No one is doing anything to inherently harm immigrants. If you have your paperwork together, if you're not doing anything illegal, then chances are you're just living your life. And what really perturbed me the most, what really disturbed, I needed a woosah. The fact that that Somali man stood up there and said, the movement has transformed from them and then to us and now. They're blatantly saying, fuck you, Black American. Civil rights, which your ancestors fought for, bled for, died for, got hung for. We were getting unalive to even go when we were voting. A lot of us were not even claiming our heritage so that we could keep our lives. We left our towns and our communities behind so that we could stay alive and keep our lineage going. Those of us who are still alive today, we are the ones that survived. We are the ones that made it through. We are the product of the ones that fought and prevailed. So for these immigrants to come over here, this is making me so angry. Like, I feel very emotional. I have to calm down. But for these immigrants to come over here and steal a movement that was created, curated, fought for, and literally built on the bloodshed of our
Guys, this has just sparkled a serious debate, and many people are not happy about what has happened about this Somali community and the rest, or the immigrants, and going now to do the demonstration on Selma. And Selma is a sacred ground for the Black communities, and these Black Americans or Black people, they are saying like this is a history monument, or this is a history place whereby we regard and you see like how our ancestors fought for us even to get the rights even to vote. And there are rights that people take it for granted, and I don't know what the Black Americans are going on the ground, or they are going now to fight or demonstrate on that place, because it is not even relatable, it's not even related. And as a migrant in any nation, in any country, you're not regarded as a citizen person, a citizen in that nation. And there are some things that you'll be feeling like you haven't yet gotten there, because there are some privileges that you cannot get. You cannot be equal with a person who is a citizen of the state of America. And that is what now you are lacking now to understand. And you cannot go to the ground and demonstrate and do the same thing like these people did, because these people were the citizen and there were rights that they were denied. But you are the immigrant. The rights that you are crying, or you are crying that you are denied, I don't know what are these rights that now like being now ICE like looking after you, or ICE doing all these. They are doing it because if you are there legally, if you are doing the right thing, and if you have your paperwork together, like I don't see any issue there. Like I don't see any fear. Like you have not to be in fear like you'll be deported, or maybe you'll be harassed. Or the thing here is you've got a home. If America is not serving you well, it's not serving you the rights that now you are demanding. Don't go and demonstration on other people's country. Go back and maybe you create what you want and the rights that maybe you are demanding. So Black Americans are saying or telling them they have not to be respectful to what they went through. They have to be respectful about the Selma ground. They have to respect what the ancestors did on that ground. So guys, and just take a look and in that comment section tell us what you think about this Selma ground. Is it supposed to be protected by the government also? Can it be a sacred? Can it be kept like a sacred as they regard or as they feel the Black community in United States of America? And can it be taken seriously and be protected by the government? Guys,
one of the biggest damn shenanigans that I've ever seen and you've ever seen is this right here. And I got to show y'all, how many of y'all seen this right here that happened down in Selma? Shout out to the brothers and sisters who told me about this. They said, Black Alpha, please get them. Got them. You know I got them. Family, did you see the Million Tether March? Did you see Tether Selma? Did y'all see it, family? Tether Selma done went down. And these people are out there straight up trying to take Black American culture. They say from Minnesota to Selma, immigrants carry the legacy forward. Look at this, family. From Minnesota to Selma, a human rights delegation on democracy. Here you go, that word again, family. Oh, they was out there deep. You had all the Somalians who went from Minnesota all the way down to Alabama so they could try to hijack everything that we done. And they was disrespectful, y'all. They were saying it used to be about them. Now it's about us. Let me see your face. Family, I'm not lying. These tethers went from Somalia to Minnesota down to Selma. These are Selma Somalians. Somalians want to take over Selma. I'm not lying. You know that's all Democratic sponsored, fam. They literally were out there and they were trying to just bulldoze FBA culture. And they was carrying signs. They had Jesse Jackson. They had the whole nine. Let me show y'all, fam. We ain't lying. Look at this, fam. Look who's out there. Fam, it was Latinos and Somalians. And they were out there in the streets and they was marching and they was just disrespecting foundational Black American culture. They were saying that it's about them and they told everybody that they was going to just take it. These are the scenes, fam. You ain't see this stuff pop off. Nobody was talking about this, but like everything, family, I'm going to talk about it. Because while they scared, I ain't. Let me show y'all what I mean when I say that these people are in full hijack mode. Family, these individuals are literally trying to destiny swap. And going back to what I just said about us standing on business and being bold Black Americans and saying what we want and not giving a damn how people feel. That's exactly how we treating these people because they coming over here and they doing the worst thing you could ever do. Never try to get between a foundational Black American and their ancestors. It'll end up bad for you. Family, look at all of these damn tethers that done popped up in Selma and watch these people down there in Selma trying to talk like us, walk like us, move like us. But even more importantly, y'all, you're going to hear them straight up say it used to be about Black people, but now it's about them. Watch this disrespectful, musty ass march and you're going to see it live. Watch.
From then and then to us and now.
Stop. Fam, it says we went from them and then to us and now. Who's the them they talking about? Who's the them, y'all? He said it went from them and then to us and now. Translation, F them Black Americans. That was they stuff back then. It's all about tethers today. Disrespect.
The movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's right. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. Yes. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! 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 Keep hope alive!
Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente.
Minnesota está presente. Se siente. Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente. Minnesota está presente. Somebody! 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 Oh, deep in my heart.
What the hell is this? Listen to this, fam. They singing tether spirituals. Listen to this. Watch this. Absorb this disrespect, fam. Oh, it's open now. Now they done straight up told everybody, we want what y'all got. They used to hide. They used to duck. Now they out in the open.
I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Oh, hell no. Hell no, fam. Add that to the list of words that we done canceled. Add that to the list. We shall overcome. I don't never want to see no black American ever sing that. Look at this dude in the background. Look at him with that big old flag. Non-us, non-us, not us, not us, not us. None of these people are.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's right.
Listen, and the lady said, that's right. Let me slow it down in case you couldn't hear it. He said the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's right. This is our moment because our time has come.
There you go, family. This is our moment because our time has come. You see it? Tell me you see it, brothers and sisters, because I see it. And if we all see it, then it's all the way there. This is why we don't give a damn. This is why we regulate. This is why this generation is moving with so much energy and an adrenaline rush. You can go ahead and play. Let me tell y'all, fam, that right there is the product of everybody who's ever told you, take it nice on tethers. Let them talk a little bit. Let them say all those negative lies that you hearing, but let's just be nice and show them grace. That right there is what happens. Being nice, showing them grace, letting them talk. All that does is breed people who feel that they can come over here and steal from our people. Never get in the middle of foundational black Americans and our ancestors. And you never get in the middle of foundational black Americans and our FBA family tree. It's time that we turn up the G-checking, fam. Because when somebody says it went from them and then to us and now, that is the most disrespectful thing. And I've heard some tethers say some disrespectful-ish, but it didn't get no more disrespectful than that. Imagine going to somebody's house or somebody's community and just saying, oh, it went from you and now it's me. That right there is hostile. That right there is an invader, family. And they went all the way down there so they can try to steal off the backs of us. And notice, y'all, they was holding up signs of Jesse Jackson. Do you see why when Jesse Jackson passed, black Americans said, take African American along with you? That right there, family, was the product of African American. Everything that you see right there, family, that was the product of African American. Look at this guy right here, fam. Look at this guy. You think this guy give a damn about Nat Turner? Do you think this guy give a damn about hell? Your parents? Do you think he give a damn about your kids? Fam, these are the scammers. The same people who come from the scamming community that's been scamming black folks, that's been taking away all that damn money. That's them right there. And they don't ever pull this with W's. How come they don't ever go to the W marches? How come they don't ever show up there? How come it's always black Americans that they got to go seek out, go find, and then try to say it went from them and now it's about us? He said it. He said, our moment and our time has arrived. And that basically means these black Americans got to get the hell out the way because it's all about tethers now. This right there is a cultural erasure. This right there is a complete takeover. This is when somebody wants what you got. And this is when somebody is willing to do any damn thing to get it. But guess what, family? We down to stand on business to check them. So if they don't get the hell up out the way, they're going to have to see foundational black Americans, and foundational black Americans. We ain't really playing with nobody. Look at that right there, fam. Look at all these people. Look at these tethers out there, fam. There was a hell of a lot of ops out there, fam, but it wasn't just them. No, y'all, it was the Latino. Look at that, fam. Didn't I just start off the video with the Latino guy? And the Latino guy was saying, we help Black Americans. They never did nothing for us. The Black Americans is the reason why we ain't doing good. Remember, y'all, this is what they were saying about us, and this is what we're saying about them. Checkmate, bottom line, point, damn blank.
FBA and the descendants of slaves. I see everybody on here pissed about these old flat-footed ass Somalians taking their musty asses down to Selma. Well, so am I. So what are we going to do about it? I've been on this app about a year and a half. The moment I hopped on here, I seen live panels, all these posts about FBA and how we going to delineate and da-da-da-da. So who's planning to march to the Office of Management? Because I'm ready. We see these groups organizing, so when are we? All this chit-chatting and yapping in these panels and making these videos, this ain't moving the needle. We need to be seen. We need national presence, just like they're doing. We need to push back on all this. Let them know we need to be a protected class. We want our lineage to be protected. Everybody think the 14th Amendment, yes, they're dogging the fuck, they're dog walking that. And we got to cross our fingers that this summer that the Supreme Court upholds it for our ancestors. And what if they don't? What if they don't? We'll still be operating under this replacement theory and having all these different African groups coming into our communities, erasing us. Thinking it's cool to go march on Selma after we didn't already laid the pavement. These people ain't never had to sit in the back of a bus. They never had their cities bombed here. They never had the dogs sicked on the hoses. Them was our ancestors and our people. And we're going to allow that to be erased by them? People that fled their homelands? No, I don't think so. So when's the march? When's the march to D.C.? Where we going to start at Philly? I mean, how we going to do it? We should do a caravan from Philly all the way to D.C. How we doing it? Then get to D.C. and march? How are we doing this? Because all that yip yapping and talking, we gotta put our money where our mouth is. We gotta be seen and heard. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. And you motherfuckers that's been online doing this for years, you're no different than the Al Sharptons or the Jesse Jacksons. If the only thing you're gonna do is sit up here and talk about it and get paid off these TikTok coins, you're not doing nothing but exploiting us too. So I'm gonna call y'all out. Because different don't mean better. So what we gonna do? I'm ready for the barbecue. I'm ready for, I'll be the one with the Shastas. I'll be with the one with the Shastas and ice. Because I ain't cooking. So how we doing this? I really want to fucking know at this point.
I know you guys seen that video of Jesse Jackson's son marching with Somalians and various other immigrant ethnic backgrounds, reenacting the Selma March for voting rights on behalf of my people. A lot of the people in our community find that that's very disrespectful, beings that any other day, I'm not saying as individuals, but a lot of people in general with immigrant backgrounds or what have you, regurgitate the white supremacist notions and rhetoric that Black Americans are criminals, Black Americans are baby mamas and baby daddies, we're culturalists, like I was talking about yesterday. You don't have any mutual respect for us, but then you want to take a page out of our book and use our ethnic legacy, our ancestors' legacy, to garner attention and sympathy for the problems that you're going through in this country as an illegal immigrant. It's one thing if you would have respect for us and have mutual respect, but you people do not have mutual respect for the foundation that was laid by my people and by our ethnic group of people. But you want people to feel sorry for you and rally behind you when you have problems. That's not how that works. And that's why we feel like it's disrespectful when you guys try to reenact that march or what have you. That's very, very disrespectful what y'all are doing. because y'all never respect us any other day. We tell you to stop using the N-word. We tell you to stop regurgitating these white supremacist talking points that are detrimental to our community, and you still do it, acting like we don't stick together, acting like we're a degenerate class of people. But then you want to use our civil rights legacy to garner sympathy. That's bullshit.
I know my people are going to get so mad at me with this video, but just know I understand how y'all feel because I'm black. So I understand. But when I saw that Somali march in Selma, I found it so hilarious. They were serious. I'm sorry. I just thought it was the funniest thing I saw in a while. Now, I know my people going to be mad at me because it is disrespectful, y'all. I know that. It is. But you got to admit, they were so damn serious. It was hilarious. And to think the very people they hate, they try to imitate everything we do. Now, that's pitiful. Oh, and one more thing. We would have been out there to help y'all, but we too busy trying to find out who our daddies are. Keep up the good work, y'all. I needed that laugh.
I want y'all to pay close attention to this picture up here. Now, one, the sign, we the people means all the people. No, these people are totally against black Americans. Do not drop your guards and think they're your friends or they want association with you. No, these people want association with white people. They want to be associated with white power structure, not you. These same people, picture them. And I want you to place an image in your mind, black Americans, FBA. These same people will be in your courtroom as jurors, and they will go against everything black American, everything. They don't stand for you. They don't stand for America. This is the most un-American thing you can ever do. They're trying to change our culture, rewrite history, and replace us. Now let me get into the disrespect. We keep our ears to the street. We hear everything. Just because we don't announce it don't mean we didn't hear it. Trust me, black Americans heard it. So I'm thinking, nah, they can't be that disrespectful. Nah, they ain't marching on. They ain't marching. And then I saw this. Now, I was thinking to myself, wow, that's disrespectful. That hurt because blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors is in that. On that bridge. In Selma. Our spirits of our ancestors shake our soul sometime, and we gotta respond. We gotta protect them. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, how can we equally disrespect the immigrants that disrespected us that way? And guess what? We can't disrespect y'all to that level because y'all have never done nothing that monumental. You understand what I'm saying? The ultimate disrespect is leaving your homeland and leaving your ancestors and leaving everything you know to come to a foreign land that you don't belong in, which is America. You disrespected yourself enough. Leaving that land, coming here, that's the ultimate disrespect because you still got ancestors in your respective homelands. You still got ancestors that you abandoned in your homeland. So it's nothing y'all ever did monumental that I can think of to disrespect y'all in that capacity. Y'all already disrespected yourselves. What am I gonna stump on some bushmeat? Stump on some tacos? I can't do nothing to equivalent the disrespect of you leaving your homeland. It's nothing I can say. You gotta realize the immigrant community, y'all don't have no home training. Y'all wasn't taught home training. When y'all come here, y'all are guests. This is not y'all house. This is not y'all home. Y'all are a guest. And see, when we was raised up, we was taught home training. It was 3 rules when we went to over somebody's house. Number 1, don't make yourself at home. Number 2, that ain't where you live. And number 3, the last thing they told us that stuck with us was, don't you go over there wearing out your welcome. Immigrant community, you have wore out your welcome. And you no longer need it. You have become hostile, unwanted guests. And ICE and everybody else, if they round y'all up, great. I wish they had a GoFundMe so I can give them some tips and bonuses. Because at this point, y'all are doing stuff. See, black Americans, we like the big brothers. We get it. Y'all are down there throwing rocks at us. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, the immigrants, look at me. Y'all bothering us. But now you got our fucking attention. What you want? This what you want? You got to realize we have never been defeated. We have not been defeated. Black Americans haven't been defeated through history. We survived. But once you leave your country, that's a sign of defeat. You've been mentally, emotionally, and spiritually defeated because you was too coward. You was cowards. Y'all weren't strong enough to stand up and fight for your own land. That's why y'all here. Y'all came to a land where we fought for, but you're not going to latch and leech onto that. It's disrespectful. And for that, we reject your deposit.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
But this probably is one of the most disrespectful videos that I've seen in a while. Is that I feel like the most disrespect that we get as black Americans, it don't even come from white Americans. It comes from a lot of you immigrants who come over here. When white foreigners come over here to America, they don't sit here and try to disrespect white Americans or try to downplay their struggles or downplay the things that they fought for. They don't do that shit. They fucking play nice. It's crazy how y'all gotta steal from us and y'all gotta steal our culture and our identity in order for you to make strides in America. You could pull yourself up from the bootstraps like the rest of us have. You could really make some shit happen. Why the fuck do you all have to embed yourselves in our shit in order for you to make a move? Are y'all really trying to poke the fucking bear? Really? But see, you know what? This falls on the fucking shoulders of the Democrat Party and everybody that want to keep voting for them. Y'all could talk all that shit, all that cash shit that y'all want to say about Republicans. Y'all could say that shit, but all of this shit falls on the Democrats. Because they allowed them to come over here and do this shit. Do you really think these motherfuckers would have been able to do this on the Republicans' watch? What? Y'all really think that these motherfuckers would have been able to do this under Bush? No. That would never have happened. So FBA, what y'all gonna do? We gonna still point fingers at each other because one person voted for Trump and another person voted for Kamala? Are we gonna shut the fuck up and mount up? This is our shit. They're trying to take it from us. We get on this bitch all goddamn day and talk about how we are indigenous to this land all fucking day. But we fighting with each other. Meanwhile, they're taking our shit. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Because it's obvious that the United States government ain't gonna fight it for us. We have to fight it for ourselves. What are we going to do? We fighting with each other about who won the election while these motherfuckers is taking our shits. But we can't do nothing about what happened. We can only do something about what can be done. We need to let these motherfuckers know that we not going. So what are we going to do? If you still want to be mad because that bitch lost the election, then we don't want you a part of our shit. Keep your ass over there with the rest of them fools. Either you for the fight or sit your punk ass on the sideline.
Here it is a month after I've returned from Minneapolis, and I'm in Selma, Alabama at this point for Jubilee weekend. And for those who aren't aware, things are still happening in Minneapolis. ICE has not let up. And with the firing of Kristi Noem and the hiring of Mark Wayne Mullen, it's likely to get worse. The media is not showing you what's going on up there, and the media that a lot of you follow, I'll continue to say, is lying to you. I have no reason to lie about it. I'm just a regular working class guy who runs a little nonprofit in Alabama, fixing houses and cars and things like that. The people who are out there saying that the drawdown is happening, that the drawdown has completed, again, are lying to you. But to talk about Selma for a minute, it's hallowed ground for a lot of people. The trek, Highway 80 over here through Lowndes County. This is where a great deal of important history happened. And Selma, I have a very special place in my heart for, just like in Tuskegee and other places where this history that changed the world happened. These days, though, it's a little bittersweet. I rarely come for Jubilee weekend. If I'm going to visit some friends, possibly. I'm here with a coalition we're working with today. But again, it's bittersweet because there are so many people who come to this. There's a lot of people not here today who will be here tomorrow to walk across the bridge. And I think everyone should do it at least once. I think, there's nothing wrong with experiencing this. The bittersweet part is that we won't see these folks again for another year. Once they leave Dallas County, Alabama, they don't think about it anymore. And I don't mean to speak in sweeping generalizations. There's a lot of people who do awesome work supporting the organizations here. But there's so much more that could be done. And I know that the folks here appreciate you coming and spending your money and honoring this incredible event, this horrific event that happened so long ago. But I know they would appreciate it even more if people would find a way to invest in the local folks doing the work here. There's one particular group that comes to mind that I have a great deal of respect for, the Knights and Orchid Society. And they do a lot of very important work. Back when the tornado hit here, my son and I accompanied them to a place called Beloit, a little community outside of here. And as everyone knows, the rural places are where my heart is. I love Selma. But of course, Selma got a great deal of attention as it needed. But whenever these things happen, as with the disaster in 2011, the rural places are left behind and forgotten about. So we were able to go over there and work with them. And I can't say enough good things about them. But just in conclusion, I've been home for a month. People are still being picked up all over the country. The drawdown has never really happened in Minneapolis. There's folks like Lee Stedman, who you should be following on social media. I'll try to link that in the descriptions, these videos. And just keep paying attention and keep speaking out. And if you come to Selma, open invitation to anyone who wants to come to Alabama. I do a tour of all of these places for people. But if you are privileged enough to come here, find a place where you can get linked in and continue to help. Because Selma is no different than where we work in Camp Hill and other places. There's a ton of need. Just highly recommend that you do that. Thank you.
What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it?
You can call me whatever you want, but I have identity. You do not have identity now because the Arabs have refused you. They are telling you, Ya Abid. And you're better off to accept me as your brother rather than going to an Arab. So, we called Somalis in that article Africanity by accident of geography. This group consists of those who happen to be in Africa without their wish to be there. Individuals who found themselves living in the continent by virtue of circumstances beyond their control. In other words, circumstantial Africans. Members of this group are not pleased to be identified with negritude or blackness, be it by value, ideology, culture, ethnicity, or any other quality except by the accident.
Americans, black Americans. Okay, so they'll date an FBA. Is that what you guys call
Black
yourselves
American,
now?
Foundation of Black American, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, sure.
All right, they'll date an FBA, and it's going well at first, but then they start talking about future, family planning in the future, and then they start to realize that their African culture, it's simply like our culture are better. Like we simply don't have the degeneracy we see in your culture a lot.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. If your culture is so flawed, then why are you not in Somalia right now?
Well, we're getting
Wait, who's we? Who's we? Because the Hutus and the Tutsis are fighting in your homeland right now. There's tribalism going on in your homeland right now where people are walking around with AK-47s and are walking around, men are walking around in dresses, unaliving the people in your own homeland. So if your culture is so popping, hold on. If your culture is so popping, why is the education system so bad in Somalia? Why is the healthcare system so bad in Somalia? You're not letting me finish. You got to be quiet. If your culture is so popping, why is the education system so bad in your culture? Why do y'all barely have any type of healthcare system over there? Why is all of the infrastructure in your own homeland destroyed? Mogadishu is a terrible city. It's terrible. Why is that going on in your homeland right now? Why is the tribalism going on in your own homeland right now? And y'all are the majority of the population, by the way.
Okay, one, colonialism, and two,
we were colonized too. No, black Americans were colonized too. We were colonized too. You're the majority. We're the minority over here. You're the majority.
Yeah, you guys were colonized. You guys were enslaved, and you guys have the lowest literacy rate. You guys have the lowest.
That's not true. Wait, hold on. That's you're lying. That's not true. That's not true at all. It's not true at all. See what you're talking about. Let me educate you because the big forehead that you have isn't working for you right now. Let me educate you because you don't know what you're talking about. Again, and this is how these people feel, by the way.
So I did see when the immigrants went down to the Edmund Pettus Bridge and marched as if it were going to be another Bloody Sunday. It's not going to be Bloody Sunday because that happens with my forefathers, okay? And the only reason that the immigrants were able to march on the Edmund Pettus Bridge is because my forefathers got bloody. And it's an historic site, and I think it was not a good idea to do that. Because that history means a lot to Black Americans, and you don't want to go and say what I heard was said on the mic. That was then and this is now. No, we're not going to be doing that. Okay, but to get off that, because I thought it was very disrespectful. You don't go do that. You don't go do that. If you really respected Black America, and if there was a Black American there who decided that was a good idea, that was very disrespectful too, and you need to go sit down. But why that's not going to work? Why it's not going to garner as much attention as you want it to? Because Black America, the struggles of Black America and immigrants are different. Immigrants are trying, they come over to try and create a better life and to gain more rights sometimes than what they had wherever they were. Okay? Which would then mean they would be challenging certain things. Okay? Black Americans were owed. We're still owed. Because we are the country. The slogans and everything about immigrants built America, that's a happy time slogan. Okay, it's not reality. And see, this is where reality and fiction meet and they clash. Okay, when they meet each other, it's going to clash because the reality is, though the immigrants went down to the Edmund Pettus Bridge to fight for what they call quote unquote freedom here in the United States of America, the reality is they didn't meet the force of the United States government. And I'm just keeping it real. They didn't meet that. When they go to vote and stand in line and can vote, they don't meet the full force of that brutality my forefathers met. See, that's the difference. Because we got pew-pewed. And that's why they call it Bloody Sunday. We got pew-pewed also when we were standing up voting. Okay? We got hit. Okay? There were full-out massacres. Okay? In our history. Just for walking across the bridge. To secure rights
that are owed to Black America. It's a difference between, and this is why immigrants cannot, and I'm saying this not out of any type of hatred or anything, nothing. It's just the truth. You can't latch on to Black America. You have to find your own path. You just do. Because I'm here to tell you as a Black American, no one's going to take you seriously. No one's going to take you seriously. I'm saying this is flat out. You can try to latch on, because everybody can see it, including the people in charge. They can see it. These people are clueless. They have no idea. Immigrants in the United States of America don't actually know what it took to fight one of the most powerful governments on the face of the planet Earth. And that's why many immigrants don't take the time to learn about Black American history. They don't take the time to learn about Black American history, and they'll never know they don't look at it like it actually is. We Black Americans are the only people in this nation who have ever been able to do what we did. The only people. The only people. That's facts. You have other countries who can't move this country. Okay? And that's the amount of evil my forefathers had to fight against. It's unreal. So when I saw them walking on Edmund Pettus Bridge, it wasn't. Don't do that again. And the songs they were singing and all that goes deep with Black America. Those aren't just songs. Those songs came with blood. Those songs came with lynchings. Those songs came with some of the worst atrocities in global history. It's not about, oh, I'm coming over here to make a better life. That's not what those songs were about. I hate to say it like this. It wasn't what those songs were. We came over to the country to have a better life. No, those songs were getting out of the trenches songs. Those hymns, those Negro spirituals, those were how, when we hear those songs, it's how we survived. It's how we survived. Those were survival songs. Those were another day songs. Those that was the faith and the hope. Those songs go deep with us. They're not just songs. About talking about we moved over here, we want a better life. We want this. Don't latch on to Black America when you don't understand Black America. And if a Black American told you that was a good idea, it wasn't. It wasn't. I can tell you as a Black American, create your own way, or you will never be respected. Never. Not by this government. I can tell you that flat out. Make your own. Everything you're doing is Black America can move things in the United States of America because whether you want to believe it or not, we are very much respected. People really think that we are not respected, but Black America is very much respected. Because I know something you don't know. I know something you know. But when you sit there and try to latch on to us, we're gonna do this Black American, and then you turn around and not vote, and here's what's happening. You latch on to Black America to help you with your rights, your specific rights, yours. Okay? And want Black America to help. And then the same people who are trying to harm you, watch this, they're watching you not vote for Black America. You look, if you knew what that looked like, so ain't nobody gonna take you seriously. Nobody gonna take you seriously at all. Because you're not serious. Because if you really wanted Black leadership, but you don't. You just want help for a minute. And the help for a minute is for yourselves. And it shows. It shows. And that's just the truth. It shows. Figure that out.
And many are arguing like this can be a catalyst whereby everyone has not to move their agendas through Selma crowd or through what happened. And you have not to respect the crowd because it's a sacred crowd. It's a crowd whereby the Black community or Black people endured all this pain. And now going now back to that history, we can see like it was done in 1965, whereby like 600 civil rights demonstrators went on the crowd, or they demonstrated pushing for the right to go and vote. And because they were being like discriminated for long from the voting registration, okay, when these people were demonstrating, they preyed on that crowd and they sprayed them with tear gas. And in that crowd, it was experienced a lot of brutality on that crowd. They have been reminded of what happened because of that crowd, because you can see like they were attacked by the Alabama state troopers and sheriff deputies at Pettus Bridge. That is where that's a spot whereby many of Black communities or Black Americans suffered, and now they remember that suffering. On when they are voting, they remember what happened on Selma. So Selma is not just a crowd like anyone can ride on it. It's whereby it's a sacred place for them. They respect and has to be respected. So it's not a crowd whereby like everyone will be pushing their agendas now to be considered in the United States of America. So guys, the Black Americans are not happy about it, and they're feeling like this may sound like it's a mockery to them. So by that year 1965, it was called Blood Sunday. It was called Blood Sunday, and that is where now the Black Americans, they went there to pray, and they were tear gassed by these Alabama state troopers, and they were beaten, brutally. They were brutally punished. And guys, for so long, that is what they have been complaining. They pushed these agendas and forced the federal government not to intervene. And the Selma was like stated like it's a sacred crowd to what the Black Americans endured. So guys, what you're seeing now, the Somali community doing, it's a big joke. The Black Americans, they feel like it's a big joke, and they are referring to it like you want one like everywhere. They want not to repress the Black Americans civil rights movement. So guys, like they have been displaced for long, and they have been fighting for all this inclusive thing, for them to be included with anything. So whenever you're praying like you are the one who is suffering, or you are the one who is better now than them, they normally feel like you want now to take our rights, you want to take what we fought for, you want to replace what our ancestors went through and did on the ground for us to be where they are. Black American, they're so pissed of the action, feeling like these people have just went way out of line, and with all this, or disrespectful action that they are doing unto us. Like is saying like you can borrow anything, but there are some templates that you cannot borrow. There's some like the respect and the history, because you were not there and you cannot write on that. And that's why you're seeing all this backlash from the Black Americans community, because you are given you like all things, but now when it comes not to our respect, when it comes not to our history, we have to protect it. And that is what they're doing on the ground. So guys, share, continue subscribing to this channel, and guys, we have really appreciated even for your time to watch on these stories. And with this and many more, we'll come back with more. Thank you.